Okay.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live with my brother and my friend, Pastor Alex Aneke. Tonight, we're going to be sharing on leadership and entrepreneurship. Leadership and entrepreneurship. Could you please introduce yourself, sir?
Okay, well, like you have said, first and foremost, I want to appreciate you for the privilege to be part of this program, for allowing me your great platform. I want to thank you for the good work you're doing. I want to thank you for your consistency. I must tell you that you are building a legacy. You're touching the lives of people, and I really appreciate what you're doing. So, introduce myself. My name is Hyacinth Enojo Aneke. Well, what do I do? I don't want to make this show about me, okay? But like you must have read in my profile, I'm a member of the John Maxwell team. I'm an entrepreneur. Basically, what I do is I help other entrepreneurs, launch and grow their businesses. That's what I do.
Wow. Okay. So, how did you find it? How did you find yourself in leadership?
Okay, I think it's a long story. It's a story of trying to discover myself. Okay, early in life, I've always wanted to make my life count. I've always wanted so there was this drive in me.
How did you find yourself in leadership?
But the problem, I can hear some feedback. All right.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, all right. So the problem was that I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how, to channel myself to get what I want. But what I knew was that I wanted, to make a difference. I wanted my life to count. Okay. So I felt that it was about money. Okay. So, and the only way I knew, how to make money was to get a high paying job. All right. So, right from NYC, I felt that the only thing I needed to do to get a high paying job was to get a good education. So after my NYC, I went straight to University of Lagos to do my MBA. Then I got a job, my first job as management trainee in Guinness. Okay, so I was chasing the money. Then I was in Guinness for like about 4 years. I felt that the salary was no longer enough. Why? Because my expenses always grow to meet my income. So I moved to the financial industry. Okay, so I was there. Yes, the money was good for a start, but the scope of I was doing IT for them. I was doing IT for Shell. I was doing IT for the financial company that I joined. But the scope of their business was very small. Okay, so I didn't see the potential for growth. So I left there after a year to the oil company. All right. So one of the things that happened why I knew that I had a challenge was that just about 2 months after I joined the oil company, okay, I started looking for a job. And the boss that I was working with at that time knew that I have a knowledge problem because I've told him my career history. I left Guinness to the financial sector, then to the oil sector. And 2 months into the oil sector, I was already writing application. So he gave me a book. And the book was The Richest Man in Babylon. So I said, I read the book. Basically, what the book talked about was that for everything you earn, you must not spend more than 90%. 10% must be for savings and investment. So I started doing that. Eventually, I was able to begin to solve my money problem, but the gap was there. Okay. And I didn't know what it was. So I always needed to be motivated to go to work in spite of all the money that I'm being paid. The motivation was not there. Always have to encourage myself. So I sat back, okay, and I found out what was the issue. And I discovered that the issue was that right from, my childhood, the society always dictate what I should do. Okay. They say, go to primary school, go to secondary school, go to university, get a good job. So at that point, I was taught. I've climbed the ladder to how far the society has defined it. But I never defined, a future for myself. It was based on the society expectation. So at that point, I got to what I call the peak, and I couldn't make. So I started finding out what was the problem. But again, I was volunteering in church, and I wasn't getting paid. I was being paid millions of naira in the oil company. I wasn't satisfied, and I was volunteering in church, and I was getting the satisfaction. And I discovered that the difference was that in Shell, I was working with machine. I was working with technology. I was doing IT for Shell, but in my volunteer work in church, I was working with people. So that's why I started connecting that, my calling in life, my purpose in life has to do with people, has to do with how can I better the life of people. And that's how, in the course of my searching, I started following John Maxwell, reading his book, and what his life was resonating with the vision I have for my life. And that's how, I enrolled for the John Maxwell certification program. And that's where my journey started.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So you work with Shell. What other companies did you work for?
Okay, so I started my career with Guinness, the Diageo Group. That was where I started from, Guinness Nigerian PLC. Then after that, one day I was in the office, and one of my supervisors brought an advert, done by PricewaterhouseCoopers for a financial firm. I think, so I went for the interview and all that. Of course, all I was looking for was salary. The salary was like double what I was doing in Shell. And that's why I moved to FSDH. So I was in FSDH for about a year plus or so. I discovered that their scope of operation was small if I want to do IT, because they have limited IT in their operation. It was from there I moved to the oil company, Shell.
Wow, amazing. Your story is so fascinating. Now, I just want to ask you very quickly, what's the relationship between leadership and entrepreneurship?
Okay, I mean, there's so much relationship between leadership and entrepreneurship. Okay, so let me narrow it down to what John Maxwell said. John Maxwell said everything rises, or falls with leadership. Everything that includes business, that includes entrepreneurship. So I'll take three relationships between business and entrepreneurship. Let me start with first one. Is that what is business about? Okay, I keep telling people, especially for younger people that want to go into entrepreneurship, it is not about you. It's not about the money you want to make. It's not even about your product or your services. Yes, you won't compete if you don't have awesome products, but it's not about your product. It's not about your services. Entrepreneurship and business is about the needs of people. It's about others. Okay, and the same thing with leadership. In leadership and business, you can't afford to be selfish. All right. Okay. So leadership is about others. So what is leadership? Sometimes when I want to break the ice and trying to test the understanding of people about leadership, one of the questions I ask, even with the C-suite executive, to find out whether they really truly understand leadership, and I ask the question, can a man lead God? Okay. When I ask the question, can a man lead God? And oftentimes they say it's not possible. A man cannot lead God. So I'll tell them that, yes, your understanding of God is right, but your understanding of leadership is not correct. Okay, because leadership is about influence. And what is influence? Influence is to touch the hearts before you ask for the hand. So the reason we pray, the reason we obey God is to touch God's heart, before you ask for God to do something for you. So when you say the same thing is true about, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is that for you to ask for their money, okay, you must, give them value. Okay, you must give something that they like. So the first similar relationship is that they are both about people, about how, to create value for people. Because when you do that, you get their followership in terms of leadership. In terms of business, when you do that, you get their money.
Wow.
So it's all about, delivering value, so that you can get the kind of response that you want. Two, the second, is about trust. Okay. Yeah. So the people in terms of business, people don't buy products. People don't buy services. People buy people.
Wow.
If they buy into you, they will buy your product. But if they don't buy into you, they will not buy your product. The same thing with leadership. Before they can buy your vision, they must buy into you.
Wow.
So it's, same thing. So for leadership, for anybody to buy your vision, they must buy into you. All right. But if they don't buy into your vision, they don't, buy into you. So I talk about trust also. In business, people buy from people they know, people they like, people they trust. They need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you before they can buy from you. So the goal of entrepreneurship is for you to become a trusted advisor. This goal of leadership is also for you to build trust so that people can follow you. John Maxwell said, when you say you are leading and you have nobody following you, what are you doing? You're just taking a walk. So those are any relationship, but those are the few I want to share because of our time.
Awesome. If you're just joining us, I've been speaking with I call him pastor. Well, he's a pastor in the spiritual realm. He's a pastor, reading the sentence of God. But in the business world, is known as I Sent and Naked. He's a very versatile gentleman. He's a certified John Maxwell speaker and trainer. He's also worked with Shell. He's worked with FSDH. He's worked with Guinness. And so he's showing up at a time like this. Now, very quickly, I just want us to speak to your book, your latest book. Can you tell us about your latest book on entrepreneurship? Yeah. You featured three people in that book. Yeah. Just tell us about the book. Yes.
So the book is basically my own way of sharing my story, my experience, and ensuring that people don't make the mistake that I've made, and trying to give them a proven model they can use to build business. So the name of the book is Startup to Fortune. Okay, it has 2 sessions. Okay, the first session basically is for mindset shift so that people can understand what business is all about. So like I said earlier, business, one of the quotes that resonates with me all the time I look at it was a quote by Oprah Winfrey. Oprah said, the reason I've been so financially successful is because for 1 minute, my focus has never been on money. For 1 minute, in 2019, I checked the net worth of, Oprah Winfrey. It was $2.9 billion. So if somebody that is worth $2.9 billion said that the reason that he was this successful financially is that his focus has never been 1 minute on money, that tells us that business is not about money. Okay, so the first section of the book tells people that business is about the value you create, the result you help people create. So when it comes to your focus must be the needs of the people. Your focus must be what are their needs. You have what it takes, to meet those needs. That's the first focus. Once you get that right, what happens? They will release their money for you. So that's the first section of the book. But the main title of the book, the main, focus of the book is the 5-phase value thinker business model. Okay. The first phase has to do with how do I discover a business opportunity? How do I know whether the opportunity is right? Okay. So how do we generate business ideas on demand? So the book talks about 7 different ways that you can generate business ideas on demand. Test it whether it's right for you. Test it whether it's even first a business, and be sure that that is the right business for you. Okay, so that's the first phase. So if you go through the book, you will be able to generate countless number of business ideas on demand and be able to test them whether they are right for you, whether they have enough market size. Because that's the first phase. Second phase, after you have discovered the idea, okay, is what I call the lean and fast startup, model. So that's the second phase. A lot of people want to start a business. They'll build a warehouse. Okay, they'll buy, trailer loads of goods and services without being sure that there's one person out there that is interested in the product. So the start phase is actually, product development, such that you don't have to spend all your money. All you do is, you release what I call, the minimum viable product. When I mean minimum viable product, in terms of time, in terms of money, you know. So this can be just an offer that you send out there, describing your product, describing the benefits to the customers, and trying to find out if people are ready to buy it at that price point, even without, you know, spending money, spending time in the product development. So this minimum viable product can just be a sample. So what do? You are trying to see how the market react to it. For example, how would people feel if before they spend their first, you know, their first dollar on their business development, they are able to get order without even, you know, spend. There are people who come and advertise a product out there. They've not developed the product. They just wanted to find out if people like it, if people will buy it, if it's what people like. So they get feedback. So the start phase is an iterative, you know, product development that takes into consideration the needs of the people. Okay, so once you get that right, you know, you are assured that people out there are ready to pay for the value you are bringing to the market. Is at that time you begin to spend time and resources in trying to build the structure of the business. Okay, I hope I'm still with you. I think I lost you, so I hope they can still hear me. Okay, so that's the time you spend, okay, in trying to see how you can develop, you know, and build a structure for your business. So at this point, what do you do? Okay, this is a time, the third phase is the build phase, because if you get the start phase right, if you get the product development right, very soon you are going to grow to the point that you need, okay, to put a business development in place, you know, that will deliver the product to the customer. So that is the build phase. You know, the fourth phase, okay, so now you are building your prototype. The first phase is the phase where you systemize your processes, your key business processes that will deliver those products to your customer. The goal of this is to ensure that, you know, you are building a business that can work without you. Then after you have delivered the prototype, the next phase is the phase where you begin to duplicate the prototype. So that's what the book is all about in a nutshell. I hope I still have my brother online. Are we still there?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. My internet went off.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
I want to apologize. Please go ahead.
So, I mean, in a nutshell, what that means is that you have the start phase. The start phase is, you know, you have the discover phase. That's where you discover the business idea. You have the start phase, which is the product development that takes into account, you know, the customer's requirements. So it's an iterative process where you get the customer requirement in building. So by the time you are done, you have built a business or you have built a product that people are actually looking for and are willing to pay for. And once you get that right, the moment you get that right, yeah, you want to ask a question here.
Yeah, I want to start to, you know, to speak to the book, your book. You featured Ubon King, you know, the late Ubon King, who passed on yesterday, you know. What was your relationship with him? You know, very sad event. We celebrate, you know, his legacy now. You know, we're speaking about his legacy. Why did you feature him in your book?
Okay, I think first and foremost, may his soul rest in peace. This is a very very sad moment for me particularly. My prayers are with his family members, his wife and his children. I met Ubon King in Lagos Business School. We're both doing executive programs in Lagos Business School. He was actually, you know, 2 classes ahead of me, you know, but he happens to be the president of his class, and I'm the, you know, he was the president of his class, and I am the president of my class. So that automatically made us, you know, members of the Alumni Governing Council. So we're both members of LBS Alumni Council. You know, he is transited from paid employment to entrepreneurship before me. So when I was transiting, okay, he was one of the support structure that I have. All right. So we share a lot of things together. We share the same value together. He has passion. I mean, for people that know him, they know that he's full of passion, he's full of energy. He's about people's development. He wants people to be more. So those are the kind of things, that he understands value. He needs to create value for people and do business with integrity. And he has poured out his life in trying to make the life of others better. So those are the things that the values that we shared together, the value that people, can be more, people can do better than where they are, and that we both have a calling, to ensure that people do better. So, his business principle resonates with what the book says. So when I was doing the book, himself, Audrey, and some other people were one of the first people that helped review the book. Wow. And what the book talked about resonated with their values and their model for building their own businesses. So they cut it into the book. Okay, so and he was supposed to be part of the launch. He was supposed to be a speaker at the launch. Okay, and a day before the launch, he sent me a text and said, "My body is broken. I won't be able to make it." I didn't know that this is how it was going to end, but after that test, he didn't get to take my call. He didn't get to, to respond to my text. I only woke up, this morning to hear that he passed yesterday. I celebrate his life. I celebrate his impact. It's not about how long you live. It's about the impact we have left behind. And his impact will remain evergreen. He's touched a lot of life. And today, I want to celebrate Uber King.
Wow. During the lockdown, I just stumbled into... Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you very well, yeah.
During the lockdown, I stumbled onto him on Instagram. And he was always coming up every day, speaking from his car, sharing about, entrepreneurship, about leadership. And, it just struck me as somebody very, very, very sharp, amiable person. And that was how I followed him. And even for me, it's like a personal loss, he's somebody that is very vibrant. Is somebody that is also, he touches every sector, every area of the society. Even he has a foundation reaching out to the less privileged and so on and so forth. Although, he lived a very short life, but concerning, in your book, you said startup models to success. Can you speak to that area where you featured him in your book? I mean, Uber King, yes.
Okay, so for a lot of people who have followed Uber King, he's not. He always share his story about his startup to fortune, how he started to build his business. He said, his story was that first and foremost, he went out, to start his business, renting an office and all that. At the end of the day, he couldn't pay for the office, so he has to come back, to his house and started from the bedroom. Okay, so that's the point. The point is that in the start phase of your business, you don't have to, you don't have to break the bank. You don't have, to spend all your hard-earned savings, because you want to start, because why? Every venture, every business is an experiment, and you don't want to spend all your resources, trying to make an experiment because you are not sure whether the business is going to succeed. And so that's that little beginning where he started from his bedroom, okay, and be able to build $1 million business from his bedroom is one of that area that resonates with startup to fortune. Okay, yeah. So that's the bit. So he was supposed to share with us his startup story, okay, and the other speakers were supposed to build on that. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him, in the program. All right, but we are grateful to God for the life that he lives. We're grateful to God for the impact that he made, and I know that his impact lives on because of the people he has developed. Okay, so like John Max always tell us, legacy is not in the institution that we build. Legacy is not in the building that we build. Legacy is in the people that we build, and he has succeeded in building a lot of people, helping a lot of people discover their purpose in life. And for me, that's great legacy that we live on.
Wow, amazing. Now, in this your book, you feature 3 people in your book. Emeka, is it Emeka Undu?
Emeka, yeah.
Yeah, Joy, Audrey Ezigbo,
Yeah.
and also the late Ubon King. No, why was it just these three people that you featured in your book?
No, well, they were not okay. So I mean, this is what happened. Okay, so after I did my book, okay, I got a lot of people who have built successful businesses, to review it.
Okay.
So Audrey was one of the people that reviewed it. Ubon King was another person. Emeka was another person. Nnamdi Ezigbo of Slots was another person that reviewed it. Okay. All right. So we're supposed to get 5 of people. I have about 10 people who have done well in business who did a review of the book. All right.
Okay.
So we're supposed to have 5 of them talk about the different phase of the business. Okay. Unfortunately, the other people were not available, but they were the 3 people that were available at the time that we needed them. So that's why those 3 people. Yeah. So these are the people that, okay, they like the book is teaching, and it resonates with, okay, the way they build their business, the way they find for success. As a matter of fact, Audrey said that if he had the book 24 years ago when he started, or 27 years ago when he started, he would have cut short his learning curve in terms of time, effort, and money. Okay, so that's basically what it is. In fact, Pastor Maker just ordered about 50 copies of the book.
Wow.
Okay, for people that attend network entrepreneurship, because of the value that they see in the book. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Now, what are some of the ways that an entrepreneur can improve on leadership skills?
Okay, so I mean, for everything, I think one of the people that I followed early in my life was Jim Rohn. Okay, and Jim Rohn when he wants to talk about personal development, because the only way that you can improve either in leadership or is you must continue to grow on a continuous basis. Okay, and Jim Rohn asks, why are some people paid, okay, $80 million per annum, all right, and some people are doing the minimum wage? What's the difference? The difference is the value, okay, is how valuable they are to the marketplace. And Jim said, you can be a valuable members of your family. You can be a valuable member of your church. Okay, in fact, before God, everybody has the same value. But in the marketplace, if you are not so valuable, okay, you don't get paid much. Okay, right? So so the question is that, is it possible, okay, to increase your value in the marketplace and get paid twice as much as you're getting paid now? The answer is yes. He says, what about 10 times? What about AI? So you find out that the only way you can improve, okay, in leadership and entrepreneurship is daily personal development. The more you keep growing, I keep telling people, there's no potential in any business. There's no potential in any product. The only thing that has potential is people. Okay? So if you want to grow, you can't give what you don't have. You must keep adding to yourself on a continuous basis. The essence of growth is for you to make contribution. So the only way I know, okay, to improve yourself as a leader or as an entrepreneur is to keep adding to yourself. The more you grow yourself, okay, and your team, the more you have contribution to them. Like Jim said, for example, what will be, okay, the state of your business if the testimony out there about your business that they've got a good heart? How do you get good hearts? Okay, is by developing yourself. So the only way I know, okay, to become a better leader and a better entrepreneur is to keep developing yourself.
Amazing. Wow. We've been sharing powers tonight with my friend and my brother, Isent Aneke, and we'll be talking about leadership and entrepreneurship. Very engaging. Now, I just want to ask, what are the consequences of an entrepreneur not having leadership skills?
Okay, so I don't know who said that, but it is said that 99% of failure is leadership, is character failure.
Okay.
99% of all leadership failure is character failure. Okay. I mean, imagine it. What will happen? Some people say they have business or they have a company, but they are alone. But one does not make a company. Okay, all right? It's only when you have a team that you can say you have a company. And the only way you can get, the maximum value from your team member to be able to achieve the results you want to create is your ability to be able to touch their hearts so that they can willingly, bring their hands to the game, so that they can just, bring more of their potential to the table so that the team can achieve the result. Yeah. So the consequences of, not being able, to grow yourself in leadership or not being a good leader is that you won't get the best of your people. All right. I tell people, for example, when your leader or your boss or your head of department or, the person that is in charge of your organization say you should come to work on Saturday or Sunday, are you going to go to work because, if you don't go, he will penalize you? Okay. Or because you think that you owe him, because he's touched your heart and you say, I can do anything for this boss. That's the difference. Okay. You find out that when you grow in leadership, when you know how to lead your team, people will wholeheartedly, with joy, bring their self fully and wholeheartedly to the assignments, and collectively the team can create the result that they desire.
Wow, amazing. So entrepreneurship is about people.
Entrepreneurship, leadership is about people. The reason you are there is because the result they want to create. In fact, some of people bring, product to the market, and at the end of the day, they get the feedback that the customer is the king. They were the one that determines the product you bring to the market. So if you don't take them into consideration, so like tell people, in trying to bring any product to the market, the first thing you need to find out is that, is there a real need in the market? Is there a real people need in the market? Okay, so that's the first thing. You need to be able to identify the result that people want to create, okay, the needs that they have. Then the second question you ask yourself is that, can I provide this need? Okay, better than people that are doing that in the market? Because like I said, told you, I think we were chatting yesterday also, I said 2 reasons that people buy, or 2 questions people ask when they want to buy your product is, why should I buy this product? You must answer that question. The next question they ask is that, yes, if you're able to answer the question, why should I buy this product? The next one is that, why should I buy it from you? Why should I buy it from the next person? So you must answer the question, why should I buy this from you? Okay, and why should I buy the product at all? Then the next one, why should I buy it from you? Once you have the answer to those 2 questions, you'll find out that you'll be able to succeed. With your, so you are telling that, my product meets real needs of people, and I have a superior way of fulfilling those needs.
Amazing. In selling, selling is about identifying a need and fulfilling that need. You must be able to identify the gap.
Yes.
So you just hit the nail. It's the nail on the head. Now, we've listened to you speak about leadership, entrepreneurship. Who are your top 5 entrepreneurs, all over the world?
Okay, that's a difficult one. I have never considered it. Okay, all right, but I have never considered the top. But what I do really is that at every stage of my life, okay, I look for people, okay, who are excelling at that stage. So I might not be able to tell you, I have 5 people end to end, okay, who I've admired how, because I've not looked at them end to end.
Okay.
So but at every point in time, okay, for example, when I told you that one of the reasons that I brought Uber King to review my book, was the start phase of my model, the 5-phase value thinker business building model. Okay, all right. Then when I brought Audrey is somebody who does business based on ethics and value.
Hmm.
All right. Okay. Of course, you know Pastor Emeka also. All right. So those are the things. It's always about. It's not about how much you have made in business.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Because I find out that for most, I read a report of the billionaires that we have in Nigeria, for example. Okay. Half of them don't have a business of their own. Okay. Maybe another maybe 25% is actually because they were connected to government.
Hmm.
All right. So if you look at it in terms of how many people actually create, their wealth by delivering value, by having a product. Okay. All right. Okay. So you can say I can say, for example, I know when Slot started from the beginning. Okay. While I was working in Guinness, he was serving with us. Okay. So I knew when he had a one shop. All right. And I knew that it was about, okay, in fact, if you hear his story was that, then he started with fixing computers. Okay. If you come to him and say you want to fix computers, sometimes your computer has issues. All they need to do is just dust it and use a vacuum cleaner to vacuum it. And your computer will come to, He says the other people that he was in business with, when you come and tell you that that's the problem that you have, the other people will be saying that you are spoiling business for us. When you have something that is wrong, with your computer, they will tell you this is what is wrong with your computer. The other people would have added to it because, a lot of people at that time knows little or nothing about, computer. So the truth of the matter is that what, set him apart was the integrity. I will tell you that, look, the first rent that he paid was somebody that, that he has proved himself that they trusted him, gave him a printer to sell to get an office. Okay, so it's about integrity, it's about your value. Okay, it's not about how much money you have made, because I don't know how you made the money. I don't know the principle you follow. I don't know the values you upheld okay? So at every point in time in my journey, I'm looking for people that share the same value with me. I'm looking for people, who actually created wealth, by creating value for people. All right. There's a difference between, I think it was Aki Alabi that said, there's a difference between having a business and having an opportunity. So, for example, okay, if I know the president and they give me a contract of $1 billion, okay, automatically I become a millionaire. That does not mean that will happen again. Okay, but for a business person, he has a business model, okay, a sustainable business model that is delivering in exchange for returns. That's the difference.
Wow, amazing. That's deep insight. So how about globally? Do you have entrepreneurs that come to mind?
Okay, so in terms of people that have followed, okay, I've followed different people based on their different skills. When I started, okay, because I wanted leadership, I joined the John Maxwell team. Okay, all right. Then when I started the expert business, the first 2 people I followed was Butcher and Eben Pagan. Eben Pagan was my coach. Okay. Then when I wanted to learn marketing, I followed and I paid Graziazo, Jim Graziazo. So those are the people I've been following. So it depends on the area where I think that I needed to grow. I look for somebody that is doing, unfortunately in Nigeria, one of the things we are lacking is the fact that people that have gone the stage, when you ask them how they've succeeded, they will tell you it is God. But out there in the Western world, they are ready to, for you to pay them, for them to teach you, the processes they followed, what they did and all that. So I find it easier, to pay for those people, and they will expose everything they've done, how they created their results. And I think that's the difference here, because again, I think that the reason is because a lot of people don't have a model.
They don't have a framework.
Yeah. They don't have a framework that is creating value for them. It's either they have opportunity or they have a connection or whatever, and they make the money, and they can't tell you this is a repeatable process in making that money. So that's the difference. So I have people like John Maxwell, people like Eben Pagan, people like Brandon, people like Dean Gazazio. So those are the people that I've been following and they've been teaching me, and that's how my journey has come this far.
Now, when it comes to the Nigerian business environment, there's youth unemployment, massive youth unemployment. Almost about 60% to 65% of our youth, they're unemployed. How can governments solve that jigsaw puzzle? What can they do to kickstart entrepreneurship amongst the youth?
Okay, I think all government can do really. If you ask me, okay, I used to have this conversation with people. All right, and what's the conversation? I tell them that there's no unemployment anywhere. People find it very difficult to believe. Okay, there's no unemployment anywhere. Okay, yeah, what do we have? I agree that people are underemployed. Okay, based on my faith, the Bible tells me that whatever your hand finds to do. Okay, so there is nobody that your hand cannot find something to do. And that's why I like my model. Okay, model means that you can start without having anything. So it's not the issue of money. I know that people have idea problem. All right, so the government can provide the enabling environment. That's all the government can do. Enabling environment, let there be power, let it be easy to register a company, let it be transparent. Let all the enabling and the environment that the government needs to create it. But when it comes to in terms of who is responsible for unemployment or underemployment, it's people generally. And that's why the work that people like you are doing are important. All right? Because at the end of the day, you are the one that will make up your mind and says, I want my life to count. Okay? I mean, for example, go to church. Even in churches, you only need to go to somebody and ask questions, and they will tell you the answer that you are looking for. I tell people every day, you only need to say, okay, I want to do this. What do I need to do? You have counselors, you have mentors, you have people who are ready, more than ready. I have never seen anybody that walk onto and say, mentor me, and they said no. But the challenge is that people don't know how to follow up with mentorship. That's the challenge. So the resources are there. People are ready to help. I have never seen. One of my startup story was this. When I left Shell. Okay, I had the belief that if you are good technical in an area, then you understand the business that does the technical work, which is a lie. The fact that you are technical in an area does not mean that you understand the business that does the technical work. Okay, so because I was doing IT, I was a technology person. I felt that the first business I should do, okay, was a phone business. Okay, so I have gone and put in 3 million naira as rent. Wow. I paid 1 million, why? Because I was coming from Shell. I had a lot of money and all that, so I wanted to, but I didn't even go myself to ask for help, to ask for perspective, to ask for counsel.
So you paid for an office space?
I paid for an office space. But one of my friends, Gosri, called me and said, before you run too fast, let's look at what you want to do after you have transited. So that's how the likes of Ubon King came into my life.
Wow.
Okay, so we sat down together and we looked at it. And the guy told me that you are just about to commit, business suicide. And after we are finished, it was clear to me, okay, that I'm about to really commit suicide. Okay, it took me effort, to get my 1 million naira back. Okay, but that's when I learned that, look, I have the support structures everywhere. I only need to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I can tell you, anyone that say, okay, they first need to make up their mind. I want to make a difference with my life. Yeah, but again, let's even talk about the fact that government does not provide the enabling environment. Who is an entrepreneur? Okay, an entrepreneur is somebody that solves a problem for profits. Okay, so when you are looking for opportunity does not exist anywhere. The only opportunities that exist are the problems around you. Okay, so the best way to find opportunities is to find problem, and find a solution to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so even the government failure is an opportunity.
Yeah.
For people that have understanding.
Yeah.
The government failure is an opportunity. So government has never succeeded in building people. All they need to do is build the enabling environment.
Yeah.
People have the responsibility, they have the support structure. Okay, so just go now. Let's look at how many people are following this conversation. How many people are following this conversation? The value that you have been given in this platform on a regular basis, how many people are taking advantage of it?
Yeah,
People
are looking for music, they're looking for, fashion. Yeah.
Tomorrow it is government. It's not government. It can never be government. People got their priority wrong. Yes, government is failing, but that's also an opportunity on its own.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Amazing. We have been having a very candid session with my friend, my John Maxwell colleague, Isen Daneke. He's worked in Shell, he's worked in Guinness, he's worked in FSDH. He's an entrepreneur now. He's just released his new book about how to scale up your business. And I just want you to speak. I mean, some of my friends have recently just left paid employment, and they don't even know they have a huge stack of cash, and they don't even know what to do. They lack the ideas as to how can one transit from paid employment to entrepreneurship, and not get the biggest bonds. Yeah.
Okay, so let me share my own story. Okay, so that's again where the issue of mentorship comes. All right. Okay, so when I was transiting after that, it was clear that my mentality as an employee, okay, would not survive, entrepreneurship. So the mentality of an entrepreneur is different from the mentality of a business person. So the first thing I was asked to do was to do network marketing.
Yeah.
Okay. So my mentor encouraged me to go and do network marketing. I'm not saying that that's the path, to go. All right. Okay. Why did he say I should go and do network marketing? He, discovered that, look, because of where I'm coming from, I'll be afraid of fear of rejection. I cannot promote. So he says, go and do network marketing and be able to overcome that mindset where you're afraid of being rejected. Okay. So I went into network marketing.
And build relational skills.
Know how to lead people. Okay. So that was practical leadership for me. But again, after 1 year, I was able to build a team of 1,500 people.
Wow.
Okay. But the problem I had was that instead of, the success to recognize me as a business leader, one of the products that the company I was representing, was selling was alkaline coffee. Okay. So I was being recognized as a coffee seller instead of a business leader. And that did not excite me. So one day, as painful as it was, I told my team, it was painful because a lot of people joined the team, with the hope that I will mentor them into succeeding in their business. And I told them, and that's one of the things I tell people. One of the ways you know whether you are going in the right direction is to find out whether the success in that direction will excite you. If it doesn't excite you, that you are not on the right path. Okay. So I find out that the success, and I was creating, and the identity that it was creating for me is not what excites me. So I told him, sorry, I beg to resign from this airport. It was a painful decision. I had to leave a team of about 1,500 people behind, but I had to get. So again, so if they want to, they need hand holding. Somebody that have gone through the journey before that can help them. Okay, they need mentorship. All right, I think that the best place to start is to grab a copy of my book, and because they need a bit of knowledge. That's where to start from. All right, you need to renew your mind about what business is all about, what is important. So after that, like I said, one of the things they need to do is that they need to understand that every venture is an experiment. Okay, all right. So they need to start small and experiment. All right. And check the result of the experiment before they go in full-fledged. Every venture is an experiment. So that's what I have for them. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. You've shared so much tonight. I mean, even for those who are going to be joining us in the replay. For those of us who are with us thus far, if you have any questions concerning entrepreneurship, just in the chat box, just drop your questions. We'll be wow, we've had so many of our colleagues join us. Bridget Eleshi, she said the only opportunity that exists is the problems around you. Amazing. This lady she's showing up, and she's also a good friend of Ubon King, the late Ubon King. Bridget, she's one of the few ladies that I respect so much. She runs her own business, from home, and she's showing up. She's just also saying that we should take advantage of support structures. Now, you said an entrepreneur, who is just doing the business on his own is not a company.
I mean, for you to have a company in the English world is a combination of more than one people. That's where you have a company. All right. So again, one of the things I have learned in entrepreneurship is that people need to start their business with a mindset to sell their business. Okay, because you will never make as much money running a business that you make as selling it. Okay, but even if you don't want to sell it, build it with a mindset that you want to sell it, which means that you have structures, you have systems. Okay, and beside the structure and the system, what people are going to buy when they want to buy your business is that they want to buy first the people, your team, and the system and the supporting structure. So if you don't have that, you don't yet have a business.
Wow. And that's where the work is.
That's where the work is. Wow. That's where the model comes in. The model is first and foremost, okay, again, like John Maxwell teaches us, for everything you need to do, you need a team. Even in the product, in trying to discover an idea, you need a team.
Wow.
Okay, right? In testing whether the idea is correct, you need a team. And that's why John told us that, look, the first hire you should get at least is a personal assistant. At least we have two. Okay? Yeah, so because until you have one or two other people working for you, don't have a company.
Wow. Wow. You've opened a can of worms, because the average entrepreneur, is in terms of cost, how do you manage cost, particularly for those who are starting off, because if you incur so much cost like yourself, you rented an office and paid 3 million naira, you have not even started making profit, and you said to yourself, it's as if you're committing suicide. How do you balance it?
Okay, so again, that's why I went to work, and that's why I released the book. Okay, all right. So like I told you, the first part of your business is trying to discover an opportunity, okay, that solves people's problem. That does not require money. Okay, which is the discover phase.
Okay.
That does not require money. The second phase, okay, which is the start phase, which is the product development. Okay, again, all right, that does not, what you need is what I call the minimum viable product.
Wow. What
is the minimum viable product? Your minimum viable product can just be, a sales copy. That's what, okay, like I told somebody came to me and said, I wanted to start a restaurant business. Okay, I'm looking for, I'm looking for, a place I'll use as my shop or my restaurant. Okay, the rent is so much and all that. And I said, look, let's look at it. For this kind of person, what's their minimum viable product? Their minimum viable product is a photo shoot of their kind of dishes. Okay, just photo shoot. Put it out there in Facebook.
Or Instagram, yeah.
On Instagram, ask people to order. You don't even need, okay? All you are doing that you are testing whether people, the market, whether they want it. Okay, so when you get response, you can interview them, okay, and say, what do you like about it? What do you like about it? In that case, what are you doing? You are building the product. There are some people that put some ad out there and to just see whether what does the offer do. The offer tells you the product benefits, the price, okay, and why you need to get it. That's a basic offer. Okay, and the product does not exist. You have not spent 10 kobo to develop it, and you are seeing whether people are going to like it. So the moment, for some people, when they get the order, they will tell you, sorry, we are out of stock, but they don't have any product.
Yeah.
I give them an idea. This product, people want it. Okay, all right, yeah. So some people will say they pre-order. Okay, for example, after I wrote my book, I didn't spend 10 kobo printing it.
Wow.
Okay, so what I did was wrote, an offer about the book and asked people to pre-order. So it's the money that I'm getting for pre-order that I'm using to print.
Yeah.
Are you following that? Okay, so that's so the product development phase, which is the start phase, is the point where you know whether people want the product, and you don't need, even if you want to buy the product, it must be a sample, not a trailer load.
Wow.
That's good that you show people to say that I have this product. How many do you want?
Wow.
Okay, all right. It's only when people now say, okay, we want it, that you can now go and commit money, to buy, because already you're sure that people are ready to pay.
Amazing.
So you don't need to spend all their money, you just need to understand the process.
So it's about people,
It's
the opportunities around you. Wow.
About people. It's about people. Wow. People are ready to pay for it. Is it what they need? Okay, yeah. So how do you find out what they test it? And test it not with all your hard-earned money. Test it what I call the minimum viable product. That can be a product, that can be a sales copy, that can be a picture of your product put out there with all the things that the product does, and wait and see whether people will say, raise their hand and say, I like this, I want to buy.
Wow, amazing. Wow. You share so many nuggets this evening. Now, if those who are listening, they want to reach you, is this your website is Valor www.valorcreate, is it Valor Creator?
Valor Creator, yeah.
Okay, .com. If you want to reach out to Icent and Neke, he's a guru on entrepreneurship and leadership. You don't need much bigger than this. He has over almost 3 decades of working experience, worked in Shell, worked in Guinness, worked in FSDH. He's a certified John Maxwell coach, a speaker and trainer, and is also, he delivers, on the highest level. MIT is Harvard, trained, and so his CV is very powerful. In fact, I'm so intimidated to be speaking alongside you. Even as we begin to close, I just want you to share 2 nuggets. Just go deep down and just share 2 things that you just want to part with tonight.
Okay, so I round up with it. Okay, this is my experience. I worked for a good number of my years for survival. And universally, there are three reasons why people work. The first is for survival, and majority of people are there. The second reason that people work, okay, is after they're able to overcome survival, okay, is they work to save, to expand their life, okay? But the problem with these 2 reasons for work is that they are all about you, okay? The only reason that the successful people work is to serve others. Whether you are a business person, whether you are an employee, whether you are a leader, the only reason, if you go to the Bible talks about the parable of talents. Okay, what are you supposed to do with your life? You are supposed to trade your talents. Okay, can you imagine somebody that have a talent to sing and lock up himself and begin to sing for himself? It won't happen. So our life is about service, serving others. And if you serve enough people, I think it was
Zig Ziglar. Yeah, he said if you help enough people get the ones,
you will get everything I want. That's what I want to leave your audience with today.
Wow! Amazing. I've been listening. We've been listening. I've also learned tonight from a guru himself, Aneke Icent. He showed up tonight, and he's not just talking about making it, but he wants to live a life of legacy. And for those of us that are just joining us, you can watch the replay. We've been sharing on leadership and entrepreneurship. For quite a number of people, they think that you need money to become an entrepreneur. You don't need money, you just need an idea. And people are also ready to partner with you. I remember 19 years ago, I left the banking industry, became an entrepreneur. You know, it's journey. You know, you keep on learning, you keep on navigating. It's not about, some people come out from paid employment and go into entrepreneurship and they squander all their resources. And you need mentorship. You need people that will guide you, and also you need a circle where you belong to. You know, people of like minds that will push you, accountability partners. So I just want to thank you, sir, for showing up tonight. And for those of us that have joined us, and you know, thus far, I want to also thank you for tuning in. Till next time, once again, I just want to say bye-bye. And do you have anything to say, sir?
Okay, just to say bye. We look forward to a life of success for all that are listening. I hope that, you know, they were able to put this into practice and make a difference in the world.
Okay, stay safe and have a wonderful 2021. Till then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.